Good afternoon, Codger Biker here, and can you see something different? Afternoon. It's so hot, I needed to get out. It's a lovely day. It's not really hot so much as muggy. Anyway, that's the weather report, won't go on about that. Can you see something different about my bike? Yes, no screen. I'm riding it today without one. So I've turned it into a naked bike just for one day, just because I wanted to get some fresh air, not for any other reason. But interestingly, when I pull over, I'll show you something I've just noticed. Well, it is interesting, honest. So anyone who follows the channel will know that I've had, like many people, issues with condensation on these TFT screens. I think this is the third one, and generally it's below sort of 12 degrees or so, but with the screen off today I'm seeing condensation at 23 degrees Celsius on the inside. So whether that's because the screen's not protecting it, so it's got more airflow going over it, who can tell? Well, there's a little bit there and a little bit there. Nothing significant, but you can see it. Okay, so why have I come out today? Well, Stephen, TNC 530, I think it is, told me about a piece of free software which I think is called KTM turn-by-turn navigation, and it's basically to replace, or instead of, the KTM MyRide, which if you watch my last video you'll see I used successfully to find myself to an obscure part of Wales. Very good, as long as you watch the turn-by-turn, which I don't always do. So the idea of this one is, instead of paying KTM £8 in UK or whatever it is in America or Australia or wherever, India, Thailand, Madagascar, you can download, as long as you've got an Android phone I believe, this app, and it uses the Google Maps instead to display the same information. So I'm going to give it a try. Now I did try it this morning and it hooked up straight away, and but since I've come out I haven't been able to get it to work, so I don't know what's changed. So I'm going to start the bike from scratch, go through it and see what happens. So anyhow, so riding without a screen, what's it like? Oh, at these kind of speeds obviously no different, apart from I'm getting some air. I will hit a slightly faster section in a bit. Yeah, you just get a nice smooth airflow for what I can feel. Mainly in the chest and the face, not so much on the helmet. And I am wearing a peaked helmet, so you can see that. So if there was buffeting, I'd certainly know about it. I do wonder though whether that's why I got condensation even in the warm weather. More air going over the TFT. Possibility, I suppose. So if you watch any of my other videos, I generally ride with the Puig touring screen, which is up here somewhere. It's quite high. Today I've just got the deflector. Haven't even bothered putting the R screen on, which I had. Just thought I'd ride without one. Naked style. Okay, national. Oh, that's cooling. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to cross the country in this sort of airflow, but it's, that takes me back to when I started motorcycling on a hot day, riding along the seafront in a t-shirt with a nice breeze. Like a lot of people in the lockdown, I do need a haircut. I've got hair angling in my eyes. Not sure if it's not my eyebrows actually. Like a Yeti. Blimey, look at the condensation on there with the screen off. That really does make a difference. And the more airflow you get over it, the more condensation you're going to see. Obviously. Alright. Afternoon. So a surprising tip there. If you want to test whether your TFT will get condensation even at 23 degrees Celsius, take your screen off and go for a ride. It took about 10 minutes. Look, lovely field. Oi, field, you've got a ball patch. What's the matter with you? What do you mean, look who's talking? Nice, isn't it? I haven't got a ball patch. Got a very fine head of hair. It's not mine, but you know, it's fine. Google Maps. Okay, so you know where I want to go. Traffic. Okay. Connection test. Hooray! Got all the connections. Okay. So, got all that turned up now, which is good. And there you go. It's appeared on the screen. So, let's see if it works. The first test I ever did on my KTM my ride was to go to Asda, where I get fuel from, and then I was nearly taken out by a BMW on the roundabout. So let's see. I'm going to follow it. It says higher road, no feet. So I am on higher road. So let's see what it does. Straight on. Right. Well, it's telling me 0.8 of a mile. There's a roundabout. Does that mean straight on? Now on the KTM my ride it would say second exit. This one's just showing straight on. Now remember, this is being guided by Google Maps. You don't have to use Google Maps, I don't think. I think you can use different mapping apps. Don't quote me on that. So long as it gives turn by turn to the app. So anyway, I know I've got to turn left here and it's not showing it, but it's actually a one way, you can't go right, so I shall forgive it that. Just shows straight on. Oh well, we'll go straight on then. So here's a roundabout, there's a roundabout on there, there it is in real life. So now 150 metres from it. So I've gone straight on at that roundabout. Continue straight, it says. Continue straight for 1.8 miles, which is correct. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go wrong and see whether it will redirect me. I have already bought the KTM My Ride app, which I do use quite a lot, so I probably will stick with that as I'm used to it. And I've tested it, but if you haven't got the KTM My Ride app, this could be an option. I think it's in development at the moment, so it's probably one of those apps where you need to keep looking for the latest version. So what can I do to test this out? I know, I'll go right here, which is putting me out of my way, and it's definitely not what that wants me to do. Let's see what it does. I'll go right down here. So how long will it be before it realises? Recalculating. So it's saying turn right in 0.5 of a mile. Okay, don't know this area very well. I recognise it now actually. So I think it's taken me back to the lights. It should say turn right by the spaceship. Okay, so we're actually by the police station, so behave ourselves. No parking in the yellow box. Yeah, that's good. So, you know, as you'd expect really with Google Maps, it's, if anything, going to be more accurate, I would have thought, than KTM's own map. Now, KTM's own map does update quite often. And the good thing about the KTM map, I don't know if you can do the same with the Google map, or the G Maps, you probably can, is that you download the map for the country, so you don't need to be online. You spend all that money on a screen and then it's nicer without it. Only on a hot day locally. Right, well, okay, well it's telling me to turn around and go back to Asda, which is correct, so I can say, Stephen, that seems to be working all well and good. A little bit temperamental, but it could possibly be because I've got KTM My Ride as well on my phone, and my phone is really not the best. Very, very cheap phone. It's working on my phone, it will work on far better phones no doubt. So thank you for that. I hope that wasn't too much of a ramble. The idea was to ramble, but not verbally, I hope. So I'm going to cut this in the edit brutally. Have a good weekend. Codger Biker is